beat her this time. Oh, no, I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't tolerate. Oh, no, let my two colors show, black and blue look good on you to say. Half for one heart and half for one soul, don't make me whole. I've got this debt to pay. You wouldn't last one day walking in my shoes. Harder work and harder play, and I was just starting to like you. But I've been known to lose my temper when I'm tempted to. But otherwise, I'm a pretty nice guy. And if you knew all the places that they send me to, you would know to avoid my kind. Oh, no, I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't tolerate. Oh, no, let my two colors show, black and blue look good on you to say. Half of one heart and half of one soul. Half of one heart and half of one soul. Half of one heart and half of one soul. Don't make me whole. Don't make me whole. I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't tolerate. Oh, let my two colors show, black and blue look good on you to say. I let my loved one go, and I can't stop, no, I can't tolerate. Let my two colors show, black and blue looks good on you to say. Half for one heart and half for one soul, don't make me whole. Don't make me whole. Don't make me whole. Don't always do what I should. I'd be better if I thought I could. I'm a sucker for adrenaline. Every villain is. Everybody trying to change my ways, but I live just to see you break. I'm a sucker for adrenaline. Every villain is. You take the high road, I'll take the low. Everyone lies cause everyone knows. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. A little bit bad. Feels good to be a little bit bad. I'll admit I'm a little bit wicked. I belong in the grave I'm digging. I live like a villain lives. I come alive when I lose control. Everyone lies just to ease their soul. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. Feels good to be, feels good to be, feels good to be a little bit bad. A little bit bad. Baby, we're all monsters, just afraid to show our colors. Without any warning, we're sucking up the oxygen. The room is getting smaller. We always have it coming, like animals who like to bite, tasting our disaster. 20-something seconds go on and on. 20-something seconds go. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I'm ready to absorb you, feeding all your triggered lies. My ignorance defines you. The roof is gonna cave in, roaring with some dinosaurs, so caught up in the moment. 20-something seconds go on and on. 20-something seconds go. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, 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 if we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Yo! What is up, everyone? Patrick, what's going on? You look different.
Yes, I am. I sound different too. Like I'm in a tunnel.
You are in a tunnel.
Yeah. I'm
What
in
happened?
a tunnel.
What'd you do?
I moved offices. I changed offices.
did?
It's yeah. So I'll do an office tour. My son's coming over next weekend. We're gonna record the different places, and I got.
Yeah, we
new
talked about
gear.
that. I need to do a revamp
Yeah.
of this setup too, so we should do one together.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be nice.
Yeah. So the background's gonna be a little different. There'll still be some Marvel stuff, but and do some different stuff there. Yeah.
Nice. And you have your stove issues that you're dealing with. Had
Yeah,
some
it's
fun in
not
the
even,
chat about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about the stuff.
Mucking around with your lights behind you while we were in the countdown as well. So you have all sorts of problems going on.
That. I'm gonna have them put some plugs a little higher, and then I'm gonna put some shelves and set those 2 lights on the shelf.
Or do what I did and get like one of those like egg carton boxes and just set it on that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's cheap.
I'm not doing
it's
that.
cheap. Nobody sees it. It's all good.
No.
All right. How is everyone's Saturday going? Good to see everyone in the chat. Chat is lively this morning. Always good to see that. If you are new here to Guy in a Cube, or you're just new to the live stream in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces around. And I know we were on hiatus for the last 2 weeks, but we are back. So hopefully we get some new folks in here.
Yes.
Yeah. And then also shout out to the members of Guy in a Cube. You help us do what we do here, and it's very much appreciated. If you see folks with the green name or like the Guy in a Cube icon next to their name, those are the members of Guy in a Cube. So shout out to all of you. Love having you all here as always. So you can check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment necessary. It is just greatly appreciated. So thank you about that. Also, members, hold your questions until the halfway mark, and Chatmaster C will let you know that she has cleared the queue and you can get your questions in. Oh, your fan just kicked on, Patrick. I heard it. We're dealing with it. It's gonna be a journey with Patrick's office. All right. So
that was actually something else.
All right. I don't want to know. Angurage is new. Lay's working. Lay is watching the F1 qualifying. Go Sports. PCCL is new. Brock is new. Bimmel is new. We got Ram Kumar is new. Jitu is new. Chewy's Vintage. Yes. Yeah, Pop Beater. Sorry we missed your birthday. Unfortunately, that was also my anniversary, so that wins. Sorry. Mark is new.
Andy Leonard.
Andy's here. Oh, Andy's here. Nice. Dipankar's new. Wow, we got a lot of new folks here. Hans is new. Stefano's double old. Oh, all right. Todd is new. Did I miss anyone? Fanny is new, live from Cape Town. Nice to have you here.
Oh, wow.
Wyatt's 2-week vacation new. Nice. I think I got everyone. Awesome. Yeah, Thomas, you're not a newbie. Alrighty. So questions, get your questions in. Q colon in front of the question so Chatmaster C can get them queued up. 1 time is all you need. Do not resubmit the question. Otherwise, if you do, we have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube. You will get put in a timeout either by Chatmaster C or one of our moderators. Moderators are folks with the blue name or the wrench next to their name. They have the power to put you in a timeout as well. All right, Brock, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Look at that. All right, and then Mahesh is new also. I just saw that come in. Awesome. Good to have you. All right, what am I missing, Patrick? So we got questions queued up. I think I got everything, all the housekeeping. Sorry, at the halfway mark, we will go into member-only chat. So for the members only, everyone can still watch the stream, but only members and moderators can participate in the chat. So be aware of that. Super chats always take priority throughout the entire stream. Naga is new as well. Welcome. All right. Are we ready, Patrick?
Let's do this.
Matthias, you were in first. It's been a while since I've seen you get in first with the questions. Let's go. I have an import model with a SQL database as a source. When I try to connect to a second Power BI data set, same source, it says you already have a live connection, can't have 2. What am I doing wrong? So first thing, it's a preview feature. So Power BI.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it right now.
Yeah, it is a preview feature. So Power BI direct query over Power BI datasets and analysis services. You got to check that box and restart Power BI desktop. It's a preview feature. Oh wow, we're going to your machine already. Look at this. Make sure you zoom it. Follow your video, Patrick.
There we go. There we go.
Yep. Direct query over. It's got to be checked. It's got to be checked.
Yeah.
And then it should prompt you when you go to pull in the second source if you want to convert it to direct query instead of live, and it should work. Should work. I don't know if you did that, Matthias, if that was done. So
yeah, the zoom in is great. The zoom in is great. The zoom in is great.
Matthias, let me know.
Like Adam always says. Always says zoom it. Adam always says
always say zoom it. Zoom in. Well, and then you get other people in the chat telling you to zoom in as well, right? So it's not
like
it's
Alex
not just
Powers and Matthew Roach.
Yes. All right.
And everybody else.
Yes. So, okay, cool. So Matthias said thanks. Excellent. All right. So we had a super chat. Love it, Brock. Thank you. They're our new member here. So thanks for all you guys do. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Thanks
man.
for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the live stream. We appreciate you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then Mahesh became a member as well. Thank you, Mahesh. Very much appreciated.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Bimmel. And this isn't Bimmel like the SSIS thing. That was my first thought. All right. What would be an easy way to understand a data file and how to analyze the root cause? Defect. Example, I have sales data, interested to hear on budget or resource forecast. So you're going to need probably a calendar table. And then from there, you got to figure out the calculations that you want to get. It's going to be DAX, right? So you're going to have to figure out, like if you're trying to do like budget to actual comparisons, so you'll have to have different measures for both that understand what that data is. And you may, for like budget and actual, you may actually have to have separate data there because your actual is just going to be like your sales transactions. And then the budget's going to be, these were the budgeted items, and then compare the two. And then resource forecasts, there's different calculations for doing forecasting. There are some capabilities inside of Power BI that may work for you, like on a line chart. There is a forecasting option. You can play around with that. You can also introduce R and like Python to do forecasting from that perspective. So yeah, check out, do a search also for Power BI forecast, and you'll get some hits on that as well. So yeah, but DAX is going to be your friend there on the calculations. Get a calendar table so that you can, plot those items out over time, if that's how you want to plot them out. Let relationships do their work. And then DAX all the way. Hopefully that helps get you in the right direction. All right, let's see here. Yes, Benny is right. If it's Bimmel, Andy Leonard is your friend. I haven't heard about Bimmel in a long time, man. That was
in a long time. In a long time.
It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Deep cut. All right. All right, Dipankar. How to create dynamic ranking using a measure without using single measure for each one of them.
How to create dynamic ranking using a measure without using a single measure for each one of them. Oh.
How?
So they want to rank it. They want to have, so let's say.
My first question is, what's the dynamic piece? Like, what are you doing that off of? Right. So something's changing to make it dynamic. So, I mean, you're going to have a ranking, right? And then the dynamic is something's adjusting that ranking. So I would think that might be like a variable of some kind that is, pulling from somewhere that adjusts. Maybe it's a slicer. Like if I want to rank it by this product, or I want to rank it by that product, and then incorporate that from just a filter context perspective. That's one thought that I'm having. Yeah, Chris Jones had a good comment too, possibly. Sounds like a calculation group for ranking according to measure X. That might be an option. And then Marco said dynamic ranking can be done using calculation groups. So same as Chris got in first, Marco. Calculation groups to be applied to any measure. So different options there. Different options. Are you still deep in thought, Patrick?
No. Composite models. I mean, calculation groups. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw another question that I'm looking for. Sorry.
okay.
I'm looking for an answer.
I didn't know if you went off on the stove thing again.
No, maybe. No, I forgot all about that.
No, you didn't.
I did. I'm right. I scanned the QR code. I showed you. It's 30 inches.
All right.
They called it 29. That's their problem. It's 30 inches. So
Yes.
I don't care.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm ready. I can focus now.
Chris Jones. Let's see here. Tabular Editor 3 plus Azure Analysis Services problem. Setting column data category to web URL doesn't produce clickable links in Power BI. Anyone else notice this? So what I don't know is when we're live connected to Azure Analysis Services, if you set the category to web URL, does that get honored going that route? Honestly, I'd have to try it.
Yeah.
That's my thought though, is that I would think so. If it's a true live connection, so if you kicked over to direct query, I don't know if that would work. So I think something it depends. So Chris Wagner's saying yes, it works. It's a visual level setting. What do you mean it's a visual level setting? It's a setting. Category is a setting at the model side. So maybe it's because of the visual that you're using. Chris says there's a toggle. Okay. So there might be something there. Yeah. So there's on the visual, yeah, but by default it should pick it up as the web URL. Like it should show the text by default. You're right. There is on the visual. So like on a table or something like that, you can choose how the web link show as a link or the icon. I don't know if it defaults to the icon, or does it default to the actual text. I don't have a link that I can try. Yeah. So play with that. Yeah, the toggle is whether or not to show it as an icon instead of the actual link. I don't know which one is default. Charlie saying default is to text. So cool. So yeah. So play around with that. I don't know. I'd have to go through and look at it. So people are saying it does work with Azure Analysis Services. So check it out. I know Marco said he's checking something as well. So maybe we'll figure that out collectively, which I love.
I need to get an Azure AS running.
Yeah.
Just so we can turn it on and do things like that.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those.
It's rare that something there comes up though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So one of the things I love about the Guy in the Cube community and the live stream, just people coming in and helping out. I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. While we're doing that, Ram Kumar, say for example, I have a salesperson table and I want to have their images to the respective names as a URL in Excel. So then have this display in Power BI. How can that be done?
For example, salesperson table, and I want to have their images too.
So the URL for the image is in the Excel. So we're importing this kind of ties into the previous question as well. So you're going to set the category of that column to image. So here.
Yeah, but the big thing is though that image has to be on an anonymous source. It cannot be. It cannot require authentication. And I have two videos.
Yeah.
Chris Wagner is posting that right now. I have two videos out there that talks about this at length, and you should go watch those two videos. Yes. But if it's not, if you put it on, if you put it on somewhere that's secure, it's not going to work. So.
Yep. So assuming it's anonymous, like it's on the internet somewhere, or you put it like on an Azure Blob store that has anonymous access, and that URL's there, you'll change the category to an image URL. And then for visuals that support that image, like a slicer or something like that, it'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Alex dropping a link. I think that was a video you did. I think that was one of your videos.
Alex is dropping links like crazy.
So also, Alex, on the previous question, Alex called out that web URL is off by default. I'm assuming that's off by default on the visual. So make sure that that's checked as well. And yes, Avenger Nerd Dad, you cannot post screenshots in YouTube chat. Sorry. Otherwise, people would go nuts with all the animated GIFs. Nice. All right. Cool. Good question. URLs are apparently a thing right now. It's two of them.
Go watch the videos.
Yeah. Parseram. Is it possible to let Power BI add icons to the ribbon? It's been years and the world is using them a lot. We're talking about the ribbon in Power BI desktop. So so the answer there, I'm going to say yes as an external tool.
Yeah.
And that will add an icon in the ribbon.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So outside of that, there's no customization there that you can do. But yeah, any external tools, so like DAX Studio, Tabular Editor, ALM Toolkit, or any custom thing that you create, or there's other ones out there as well. I know Power BI Tips has a whole bunch of stuff listed there. Those will add icons into the ribbon under another tab called External Tools. So, yep. Cool. All right. Nice. Naman. Here we go. Is a live connection possible with Elasticsearch data and then connecting it with Power BI? We bring a large data set first into Elasticsearch, and then it is possible to connect with Power BI. Want to take that, Patrick?
I'm gonna say no. I don't. What's the source to Elasticsearch?
So let's get our words right. Let's get our words right. Live connection is specific to analysis services or a Power BI dataset. So the answer for that specifically is no. You're probably meaning direct query. And I'm going to say no on that as well by default. So you could probably make a custom connector to do that. But if you're trying to stream data, like if it's Elasticsearch, I guess I assumed on the streaming piece there. I don't know what that, to Patrick's point, we don't know what the connector is. Like what is the underlying source there? If it's custom source, do they have an actual, I don't know if I'd have to search in Power BI desktops, get data to see if Elasticsearch is there. I don't know. Okay. So Alex is saying that's a distributed RESTful item. So that means it's probably going to be a REST API of some sort and a web source. So you could use the web connector. The other thing, go check out for like custom connectors that are out there. So like, cdata.org. They got a bunch of connectors that are out there that they may have one for Elasticsearch. I don't know. I'd have to go look. And then Matthew put a link out there. Oh, yeah. Matthew said there's an ODBC driver there. Bam. ODBC by default doesn't support direct query. You can build your own custom connector around it to enable direct query, but I'm gonna warn you on that. It's gonna be slow. And so I don't know if that's even worth doing from a direct query perspective. If it's a REST API and like that could be very chatty as well. So you could end up hitting API limits, all sorts of wonky things. So be very careful with that.
Be very careful.
Yeah. But the link that Matthew put in there, so apparently it's a SQL client apps for Power BI. Maybe you can actually use the SQL connector against some piece there by way of the ODBC driver. I don't know. It's interesting. Never played around with it. All right. Cool. Anything else you want to add to that, Patrick?
No.
I feel like I'm dominating all of this. Next question is going to be for you.
Something else.
All right.
I was looking for something else and I just got distracted.
All right. This one's going to be for you, Patrick. I haven't even read it yet. I don't know what it is, but this is your question.
I don't want it.
All right, Evan.
I don't want it.
I have data containing one row per task to be completed. A column has frequency of recurrences of the task. So like every 6 months or every 1 year, one column has last date. How can I project task dates?
What?
That one's yours, man. I'm not saying anything.
I don't know.
You got to answer that.
One row per task to be completed. A column has a frequency of...
All I'm going to say is, whew, glad I'm not answering that one.
Every 6 months or every 1 year. So is every column Is the data in every column, is it a 6-month column, a 1-month column, like that?
No. So he's saying that it's just so there. Think of it like a recurring meeting in Outlook. So you just define like every 6 weeks, every 6 months, it's gonna do it again. So what he's trying to figure out is what's the date of the next occurrence. That's not. I wouldn't think that'd be that hard. If you're just trying to figure out that date, that's not that bad. Because you can just do like just do a date add.
Look at now and try to look at what's the next occurrence. So if it's next year, then it would be
just add 6 months or add add 1 year. So
I think that would be it. Shouldn't be too hard.
I can't believe it's that simple. I can't believe it's that simple.
I guess the challenge is you need to know when was the last meeting, and I think that's what he's saying. Go back to the other.
Oh shoot.
I have a whiteboard. Right there. My whole wall is a whiteboard now. But let's see.
I think he's referring to like what Marco does with the
one column has last date. Okay, so you could use the last date that meeting happened.
It's just a calculation.
Whatever the frequency is, look at the frequency and say go to the next one.
It's just the date.
If the last day, if today was the last day, today is the 28th, and the frequency was monthly. The challenge is there's different days in the month. Is that what you're going to say? The number of days in the month.
So my problem is if it's in a column, that only updates when you refresh the model. If you want it to be like as you run the report without having to refresh the data, like so if you went past that next occurrence and you wanted to say, oh, here's the next one, if it's just a column and you didn't refresh the data, not going to work. So you'd have to do it as a measure. So Avenger Nerd Dad says probably not a measure, might have to be a calculated column. Yeah, I mean, you could do it either way. He
says he has a start and an ending date, and he wants to project out to. So you want to go to when the last meeting will occur. I'm guessing. So I mean, you could do that. It's possible. You have to write some facts.
Yeah, it's just a date add.
And so Chris Wagner, it is not, the whiteboard is not blue. It's actually
he's got a white.
So Adam's
he's got like a funky corner that's all white.
Adam's buying me a new camera, so I'm going to have 2 views. So during the session, the live stream, I'm going to say, hey, enough of all this talking. Let's head over to my whiteboard. And I'm going to walk to the whiteboard, and then we'll sketch everything out. So I'll be able to press a button on my Stream Deck, and it'll project over on my camera. Just to let you guys know, Adam's working on that for me.
Okay. Sounds good in theory.
It's going to be my Christmas gift.
Yeah, Chatmaster C. And just remember, every time I buy something for Patrick, I have to buy it for me also. We duplicate everything.
I did, Matthew. I did marry well. I married well.
Oh, bother. Oh, bother. All right. We're both getting like big red cameras. $60,000 setups. Yeah, each.
She says insert slew of curse words.
Yeah. All right. Akil, how to show data in a table visual. You just drag it. In the same... Sorry. I'm sorry. In the same granularity as the fact table.
When you bring the measure, in the table, tell it do not summarize that value
without having to add a primary key. Oh no, that's the answer. That's actually the answer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So just don't sum it.
There we go.
And then you'll just have the default. Yeah.
But I think it's still going to do a grouping on the value, though. I think it's still going to do a grouping on the value, so it won't show each individual.
It will if it's just a table. Well, if you're not summing, it's going to show each entry. Yeah. Yeah. Just turn off summarization for the columns.
But I think it's still going to do the grouping, and it's not going to show, like if I have 298, if I have 298 more than once, it's not going to. It's not going to have 298 multiple times. It's going to distinct out 298. Just like if I bought the month over and I had multiple months in that table, it's going to aggregate it up to just those months.
Not if you're not summing. If you turn off summarization, it's the actual value. Unless you have a measure there that's doing it.
Let's head over to my laptop.
Okay.
So I took all I did was in Zeba, this is your model that I'm looking at. But
you need to make that bigger, buddy.
I am.
Okay.
All I did was take the measure from the fact table over here. Zoom in, Patrick. You see that measure right there? I just took that measure and then I turned off summarization. And so here's my table, right? Here's the table that it created.
I can't see it.
And then I went over. Here's the table that it created.
Those are the individual values, right? Yeah.
Right. Yep. But I could have a reoccurrence of 298.84. It could be multiple times in that table. And if you go look at the DAX that's generated in DAX Studio, right, you see it puts that distinct. So even if I had duplicates, it won't show it at the grain because it's not going to show each if I have 100,000 rows and there's some duplicates in there, it's going to distinct them out. And so,
well, yeah, so that depends on, yes. So that depends on the other attributes that you bring in for that grain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're on the same page now.
Yes.
And yes, Matthias, there is no measure here because we turned off summarization also. So it was an implicit measure that we turned off summarization. So now it's just the raw value.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Good question. Let's get one more in. We're bumping up against the clock here.
Benny, look at Benny's comment.
Uh-oh. Benny's being a troublemaker, isn't he?
No, it's
this made me think back to Adam and Patrick in front of a cinema screen in Utrecht, trolling each other to zoom in. Yeah. That was so. Patrick, that was the session where I forgot the DAX, and I'm sitting. It was a masterful save on my part because I was just like, I'm like, Patrick, what do you think the DAX would be? And Patrick's looking at me like, I don't know. It's your demo. And I said, this is a great opportunity to look at like DAX.guide to figure out like what different functions do. And as I'm scrolling through that, telling people about DAX.guide, I'm looking at the functions going like, what the heck was the function I needed to use? And then I found it and it was fine. Nobody knew. It was great.
Wyatt gave us.
All right.
Did you see Wyatt's thing?
Oh, yeah. Wyatt, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated as always. Yes, thank you, Patrick. This is why I keep you around. You remind me of these things.
Yeah.
All right. Sankit, is layering possible on a map visual?
Not with the Azure map allows some level of layering, and then if you use other maps,
Mapbox or
Mapbox or
ArcGIS, I think lets you do it too.
Yeah. It's just not the native.
It depends. Does Azure Maps let you do layering?
A little bit.
I have seen people comment, I think on like the Azure Maps, like you can't adjust the base layer, I think.
Yeah, there's some things you can't do.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's custom visual icon map. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, icon map. Yes, James Dale's.
I didn't know.
Icon map, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Excellent. All right. I think we are at time, so we are cutting over to member-only chat. Chatmaster C is going to clear the queue and let everyone, all the members, get their questions in. Now is the time. So if you are not a member, feel free. You can still watch, listen to the questions and answers, but the chat will actually be members only and moderators. Super chats take priority. If we didn't get to your question, you got a burning question, you can do a super chat as always. Apologies if we didn't get to your question before. We never get to all of them. So come back next week and we will do it. All right, cutting over to member only. Bam. Here we go.
Before we start, I want to say one thing. I have to say this.
Okay.
Paginated reports also allows layering in maps.
Was Chris Finland in the chat? Did he? Oh, I didn't even see Chris in the chat. Like Chris is here, isn't he? Chris is always keeping Patrick on his toes. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Mr. Finland. Thank you so much.
Yes. Alrighty. So one of the benefits of being a member at certain levels, you can pre-submit a question. We do have a pre-submitted question today from Zeba. Are you ready, Patrick?
Yeah, let's try. Let me try to explain this.
All right, here we go.
Let's head over to my laptop.
Wait. I got to say the question first. Simmer down. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to add a calculated row into my matrix visual, namely % of cogs. At present day, I've achieved this. The way I've achieved it is to create a measure to calculate % of cogs. Excellent. Then for my visual to give the right values, I'm using a switch function. However, the issue with switch is that my matrix also needs to have column values for country. Okay. This can blow up to like 10 different measures and it's slow. And then if I have multiple countries, it can get to like 41. Please help. All right, Patrick, are you ready?
Yeah.
Now do your thing.
Let's head over to my laptop.
All right.
I have so much freedom in this new office. I can stand up. I can walk around. I just need to put some stuff.
You could do that before.
Yeah. All right.
Well, no one's watching what you're doing because we went over to your desktop.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So what he did before was interesting. He created this measure. Let me show you this big measure. My mouse is not cooperating. Here it goes. This guy right here. Let me show you this measure. This big measure. And so there's tons of other measures here. There's tons of other measures. Do I need to zoom into that, Adam?
No, that looks good. I like it.
So tons of other measures, and then a lot of switching and ifs and stuff like that. And I was curious, and I'm like, well, this KP, this value from the fact table. So I'm gonna grab that value right there and put it in white space. There we go, and make a matrix out of this. So I was just curious. I'm like, all right. So there's this value, and then on the dim account,
I definitely can't see that, but that's fine. You're gonna drag some other stuff.
Hang on 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah. And so on the rows, I did this, so you can see, right? So there's the values. They're not quite sorted, but I could put a sort by to match this sort right here, right? I could put a sort by on the one on the left to match this one. Okay, if I needed to get them in the right order. You guys following? You following, Adam?
I'm with you. I love it.
So then on the rows, I added the business unit, which is the same thing. I mean, on the column, sorry. I added the business unit, and then you can see, like, if I go to base cogs for a scene, it's 2383, and then it's 2383. Got it?
Yep.
And if I go through and tinker, I can see everything pretty match up. I haven't created any measures. I haven't done anything.
You're just letting relationships and filter context do its thing.
Yes.
That's it. We're letting the power of the model work for us.
Right. The challenge with this method is that % of cogs. Right. How do I inject a new row here to get % of cogs? And so I think he was going down the same method of when he started creating the individual measures. So he started creating the individual measures, which is cool. So then I inject another matrix. So I'm going to completely avoid that big switch and nested if statement that he had. So I'm just going to do a new matrix here. And on the rows, I'm going to add my business unit. On the columns, I'm going to add my business unit. And then when I start adding the measures in the same order, I'm not going to add them all, just add a few total cogs, right? That matches up. 73, 24, you see all that matches up. And then if I add another measure, which would be inflation, it won't look like his does, right? And I'm like, the power of Power BI. So if I go over to the formatter and then go to values, and then I can say show on rows, you see right here, show on rows.
Oh, look at those pixels.
Right. And now if I add them in the same order, if I just continue to add, then I add BI, then I add % of cogs, then I had others. It's pretty much exactly what he wanted. And then all the filters and everything works. And I don't need to introduce that huge switch with the if surrounding it. And you should get decent performance. If you add other years to this, or regions, or business units, it'll automatically pick it up. And then if you wanted to do any time-based calculations, stay tuned for the video next week, week after next. I'm doing a video to show you how to automatically add, it's a little teaser, automatically add all the time-based values using the calculation group, using some fancy things in Tabulator 2.3. Stay tuned. All right, there you go, Adam.
Nice. So
yeah,
So we don't need that switch statement at all.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
You don't need it. Throw it away. Throw it away.
Get rid of it. Ditch it.
Just model it.
I'm gonna send him.
Wait, and the model was already there, right? So you didn't even have to change the model. Yeah. Like it was already.
No, he's got a nice star schema. He's got a great. It's perfect. You want to show it? It's a perfect star schema.
Hang on.
Yeah, it's a perfect star schema. Why won't my zoom in stay zoomed in?
You know, you can like zoom in on the map without using zoom in.
Really? Oh, there you go. Right.
There it is.
Wow. So you don't need this. You don't need this. Just go with your star schema. Just go with your star schema.
Yeah. Like it. Pod Beater's giving you a little bit of shade there.
Period base.
Time based, really? Or do you mean period based? Yeah. Little shade.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right, man.
I'll still say time. Time is relative. Yeah, it's just a bit of timey-wimey. Whatever.
Yeah.
See how many people got that reference. I know Chatmaster C did.
Pod Beater says that that's his soapbox. I get it. Mine's data model, so I feel
data
it,
silos. Data silos to be specific. Also, and your stove.
Yeah, stoves. I'm right. I am right about the stove. I'm done with that.
All right, Paul got it also. Excellent. All right.
What is that noise?
I don't know what that noise is. What'd you do? Is it Alexa or?
No. There's no Alexa in here.
Matthew didn't get the reference. All right. It's a timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
Yeah. All right. We're good.
All right. Into the queue now. Also, first, Joe Smith, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. All right. Let's see. Rich. Housing data dashboard on a website from the Power BI service. Is it possible to have the dashboard, and also by dashboard, I believe we're referring to a report. Is it possible to have the dashboard look at a city query string or post data to filter by past in city? Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You could do that. URL parameters. Yes. URL filters, parameters, whatever you want to call them. There's a video. I kind of got obsessed with URL filters and parameters at some point, and
you did. There's some videos.
Like there's 3 or 4 videos that you should go check out on the. There's a little YouTube channel, Guy in the Cube. You can go check those videos out.
Yeah. So URL parameter. Actually, hey Alex, can you drop the link to URL filters? I know there's a doc out there on it. And so if you're just doing like secure embed or secure embed, you can pass them in that way. If you're doing full on embedded, the JavaScript API lets you set filters and slicers through code. So excellent. Oh yes, thank you, Alex, please. Sorry. All right, next one, Jack. Have you experienced a problem with Calc groups where it caused reports in the service to stop responding? I haven't seen that. Upon the removal of the Calc group and republish, performance was restored to normal. I haven't seen that personally. I mean, if you're able to repro that, I would open a support ticket.
Yeah,
so that sounds like something's up there. So yeah, I haven't seen it personally.
Right.
It would be interesting to know if that is a reproducible. So like if you have it, was it just a one-time thing? If it's just a one-time thing and you haven't been able to reproduce it, it's probably not worth opening a support ticket. But if you can reproduce it, then definitely open the support ticket.
It was just a glitch in the matrix. Just a glitch in the matrix.
Wait, what? All right. Moving on. Kendall, how you doing? What do you feel is the best feature in Power Query? For me, it's column by examples. Yes, I love column by examples.
Well, me, it's all the AI insight stuff.
Okay. All right. All right.
Everybody uses it.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, Alex.
All right. I love column from examples. It surprises me a lot when we talk to folks that they don't even know that exists. Even today, we talk to folks, they have no idea that exists. And it's magic. It is magic.
Yeah.
So yes. I'm trying to think of so there was another thing where, what was it? There was a checkbox somewhere that we didn't know existed, and we did like something
when we changed the data
source. Parameters,
we changed
right?
The data.
It was a parameter.
The data source. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There was like this hidden checkbox that we always did like a different way, and we're like, wait, there's a checkbox on the ribbon bar to do that. Always finding stuff. So I would also say like the other thing with Power Query for me is, like, the UI is great. Absolutely. I always start with the UI, but there are so many things you can do just from the actual syntax and like the actual functions of Power Query that aren't even exposed in the UI. So you can do so many powerful things. I remember working with a customer, one of the folks on the CAT team, Holly Kelly. She was working with the customer trying to get the incremental refresh to work with using like it was that native query that resulted in the video we did of being able to do the incremental refresh over native query on like ODBC for data flows. Like it was just all like, it was like customized Power Query stuff. It's bananas. It's bananas, the things that you can do from there. So, all right, cool. So Patrick's all for the AI. Got it.
I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video on that.
All right, Pop Eater's got a question here. What we got? This is the way. I have spoken. Given a range of dates with sales, okay. How to find the number of consecutive days with sales over a calculated value?
That is what Alberto did in his video when I was trying to figure out.
That was the one you guest starred, right?
Restart. Yeah, I could not figure it out. This is what you want. This is the video you want. Alberto and I went back and forth a little bit, and he was like, "Move away, little guy. I got this." And he took care of it.
So, hey, Alex, could you please drop the link to the video on SQL BI?
That says nope. He did the other way.
Okay. What? So can we like reverse engineer what was done in that video to figure out how to do it the way you want to do it?
How to find the number of consecutive days with sales over a calculated value. When you say calculated value, count sales.
So say the sale number is like $100. He wants to find all of the consecutive days where the sales were over $100.
But that's already in DAX patterns too, though.
Yeah.
Because they have a pattern where you can see, how many products were sold. And I think you just replace your value or something like that. He said I watched it 15 times and it's so close it hurts. Then I'm not sure then.
I'd have to look at the example. If you want to send us something, we could do it as a member submitted question and see if we can get it going for you. But
send it. Send a sample, Pop Eater, please. So we can take a look at that. That'd be good.
Yep. Damn. All right.
Maybe it becomes a video.
Yeah. DAXpatterns.com. Check it out. See if there's something there. All right, Patrick. Chris has a question for you. And Pop Eater, yes, again. Why not? Or did you already send it? You sent a different one before. It wasn't that. I don't remember. All right. Chris has a question.
Chris.
Why is treat as plus calculation groups the most powerful combo in tabular design with complex RLS needs?
So Chris and I talked about this, and we're supposed to have a conversation about this, and I forgot to schedule a meeting this week. Chris, I will schedule a meeting with us.
Because your calendar is so full.
Yeah, I was working on some other stuff though this week, and so I will schedule a meeting, Chris, for you and I to chat, because when we talked about it, I was like, I think you got to use Treat Ads, but I've never tested this. And then Chris hit me back on Teams. He was like, boom, it works. I was like, wow, it works. It's like, you got to show me. And
sounds like a video.
The call.
It
is going to be a video. It is
right.
going to be a video, but I got to talk to Chris to see what he did. And we'll get it going, Chris. We'll get it going. I promise.
Meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Also, Chris was very excited about the updated Premium Gen 2 metrics app that was released. Nice. That got a good update. So
yeah, it's got a good update.
Nice. All right. Brock. I have a Power BI report in my personal mobile app. Okay. Hyperlinks work from shapes, but not from a custom visual. Yeah, that's a known limitation. Works on desktop, not in the mobile app. I want to say that's a known limitation.
So there are some updates coming to the mobile app. I don't know if this is part of it.
Yeah, but for custom visual support on that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No. This is more around design, though.
Yeah.
This is more around design in the mobile app.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, David made a comment that the new app is a little broke. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
So
I got to say this. Go ahead.
Well, so to Brock's point also, make sure you go to ideas.powerbi.com and make sure that that's there as well, just as a feature request to get that to work. I don't know. I don't know that there's anything on the roadmap for that specifically. So that's good feedback. All right, what were you gonna say? My wall
behind me. It's bare because I changed offices. People keep commenting about it, so I gotta say this, right? So a little echo, a little glitches here and there, and you'll see this in the videos for a couple of weeks to come. We just ordered some, what do we call them? Acoustic panels. Mm-hmm. And I'm not putting anything on this wall until we can completely get rid of the echo. Once the echo is gone, then Adam and I will spend some time figuring out what's gonna go behind me. I don't know if it's gonna be Marvel or what, but it's going to be something cool. Sports ball? I like sports. I like a lot of sports.
Sports balls.
So it's going to be something cool, guys. So
I told Patrick, I said, dude, you do you, right? Don't. Yeah. Just because I'm not a sports guy doesn't mean you can't do sports.
So we'll see.
Just because the majority of our audience probably are not sports people. Maybe they are. I don't know.
We'll see.
It doesn't matter.
What comes of the wall. Alex, there will definitely be something from LSU on that wall, my friend. There will definitely be something from LSU on that wall. Thanos.
I have the gauntlet behind me.
So we'll see. No Braves. Sorry, Poppy. No Braves.
All right. Moving on. So if you have suggestions for Patrick's office, go to ideas.powerbi.com and submit some. No, all right. Don't do that. All right. I put Kimball on the wall. Ooh.
You can ask Adam. This office has been coming for 4 years now?
You've been talking about that thing forever. Yeah, I didn't think it was ever going to happen, honestly. It actually started with we're gonna route air conditioning into that area. That's how it started way back when. Yeah. All right. Okay.
My wife actually pulled the trigger because she wanted my office. She wanted it for something else. So
nice. All right.
I went from. Go ahead. Thanks.
I was going to go to the next question. Yes, thank you, Brock, for the super chat.
Yeah. Thanks, Brock.
All right. Next question. Here we go. I think we talked about your office enough. Will there be a date picker in Power BI Desktop with a calendar for one date only and possibly for a default date like yesterday? And my dog's going off. So, Patrick, you did a video, though, on how to...
I did, too.
Yeah, for like a custom date picker thing. It was a hack, but it was kind of cool.
It's not a hack. That was very elegant.
Yeah, but it was
a very elegant solution.
It wasn't a default visual for a date picker.
Nevertheless, it was rather elegant.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. And Alex, look at that, Alex. You're on the money today. Not that we're paying you, but you know, we pay you with love and appreciation. All right. So yeah, Robert, I don't know of anything. Ideas.powerbi.com. There's nothing that's on, the release plans or anything for that. Yeah. All right, Laura. Laura, how are you? Who let Dataverse have polymorphic columns? Rant over.
I don't know.
I have no idea. All right. Rant done. Apparently there's I'm interested in like polymorphic columns. So I understand like the concept of polymorphism. So just from a programming background.
Yep.
How would that work? I'm thinking about this from like a data source perspective of a column that potentially changes as you use it. I'm like, why? That doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I'm sure that I haven't looked at I don't know what it does, but I'm sure there's some use case that makes that interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I feel your pain, Laura. All right, Fernando. Have you mastered a way to show the latest refresh date time in a measure in local time, not UTC? Sure. Just do the adjustment of the date based on your date. Oh, so it'll be in the context of the refresh. So you got to hard code that. So for your end users, although, did I see something that was, I don't know if there was some.
I don't, because if you have people all over the world.
No, I know. So the question here is how to actually get that done from an end user perspective. So like in the measure account for their locale.
Chris has got a good idea. With RLS and use an offset. I don't know how that.
I would not do that. I would not do that. That's a big management overhead too, and like from performance, I don't like that.
Well, it's just for all the time zones.
It'd be nice if there was just like a locale function that we could just grab and pump that through. So
yeah.
I know there's been a lot of discussion around that, and like Ted Pattison did he do some? I want to say he did a webinar on the Power BI YouTube channel about some of that. I don't know specifically what was called out in there, but definitely check that out. So yeah, it's ideas.powerbi.com as well. So definitely comes up a lot. So
yeah.
Sorry, Fernando. So, but if you're just doing it for the local time of like the main business from actual refresh, you can adjust that as part of the refresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the end users, that's problematic. All right, Michael. Yeah. So Mark had a yes. So you could do that, or yeah, there's different ways you could do that. But the problem is that's at the refresh time, and that's only one of the offsets. So for the end users, it's not dynamic for where that location of that. So if you have a global company, you want it to adjust based on where they're at, and that's not going to happen. For the model itself and the refresh, yes, there's options there. So, all right, Michael. What would the best distribution method of data be for the business analyst group? Directly from the database or through certified data sets and data flows?
The latter.
I would say it depends. It depends. I would go towards the latter as the default. But there may be scenarios where maybe you want them going directly against the data source. But in general, if they're all pulling from the same type of data and you want to avoid duplication of data and controlled access through the data source, data flows and or data sets, like centralized certified data sets, are the best way to go, in my opinion.
Answer.
Yeah,
that's a good answer. Or like Fernando says, you can use Excel files. Excel's the best database and the relational database in the world with VLOOKUP.
Why not just, yeah, sure. We'll leave it at that. I don't know why people don't give the same kind of love to Access databases. I don't understand.
Access.
I don't understand. Everyone's got to hate on Access.
Access. We may as well just use FoxPro then.
Ooh. All right.
Old school.
All right.
Yes.
Samya, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All right. Yeah, so data flows, data sets, all the way. And I like that he called out certified too. So we're using the endorsement stuff. Yes, that's great. Great thing to do.
Yes.
A lot of people calling out Fox Pro, Lotus Approach. There you go. Lotus 123. Oh yeah. D-Base. All the old. Yeah. I think a lot of people are maybe showing their age a little bit in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I don't know anything.
Right there.
I don't know anything about any of those databases because I'm so young.
Patrick just wants to go straight back to punch cards. That's all he wants to do. Just punch cards, all the things. All right. Are you ready for Alex's question?
I wasn't even looking. I just ignore all of Alex's questions.
Okay, here we go. I have two different matrix visuals that generate varying DAX statements. Where should I start with debugging the issue?
Recreate the one that's fastest. All right. So you start with the one that's fastest, and then recreate the slow one.
I would just copy and paste it.
There you go.
Well, so he's referring back to. This is from my thing.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so insane.
That was painful.
Because you and Chris Hamill and I were on a call, and then I called up Alex. I'm like, dude, you got to check this out. And then I was showing Venk also. Like, this was the most insane. We still don't know. Like, we can't reproduce it, but the DAX that the visual was generating was just bad.
Yeah.
And I recreated a new matrix, and that one was great. And then it was a hierarchical thing, and then if I went back up to the top level of the hierarchy and came back down, then the DAX was fine. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how you got it janky in the first place, but there you go. Yeah. So we were going through the actual, like, the JSON implementation of the DAG. I did a diff on it, and I'm like, all right, what the heck is different here? And like, I couldn't find anything. Like, it was pretty, and I'm not going to, I've told some people I'm not going to say how much time I actually spent on that. That was pretty embarrassing. So, but that was an interesting exercise. Oh, all right, Mark. I think we're going to get through all these questions. Mark, I have a small report in the service that refreshes on desktop. Okay. Publishes to the service. However, on scheduled or forced refresh seems to crash my personal gateway. Have you heard of this? Well, there's lots of reasons why it could crash. So wait a second. So we have small report in the service that refreshes on desktop. When you say refreshes on desktop, I was thinking that you refreshed it in Power BI desktop, saved it, and republished. Publishes to the service. Maybe that is.
Well, I think he just means when I refresh it on the desktop, it works.
Okay.
It refreshes.
All right,
then
we'll
when
go with
I publish
that.
to the service.
We'll go with that.
Right. And then when I publish to the service, it crashes to the gateway.
And we're going through the personal gateway. So the biggest thing there, first off, I don't know what the source is. I would look at the logs. What's the exception? Whenever there's a crash, I always look for the exception, because the exception and the real error, not the, hey, something went wrong, the actual real error of what the crash was, that usually points me in a direction. So maybe it's some oddity in the data that the personal gateway is just not liking. Make sure we're updated to the latest version of the gateway. If we're going through a data source and it's like a custom type connection or ODBC, make sure the driver's the latest.
Well, he said the gateway itself crashes.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So in the gateway logs, though, hopefully there's an error. My old school support ways, and Patrick will call you out on this.
Yes.
If there's a crash and it's not in the logs, I'm going for a memory dump.
Yes.
I'm going to get a crash dump, and I'm going to go look at what that error is.
Yes, he is.
And we're going to go look at the bits and bytes and go figure that out. So it's breaking for some reason. So like, if you can't figure that out, though, I'd open a support ticket. I mean, we got to debug it. Like, something's causing it. Just make sure everything's updated to the latest. So Chris, here's the thing. So the gateway logs should be there. The chances of it depends where the crash actually occurred, because if the crash occurred before it could actually log like if we didn't handle that exception, So if the gateway is actually crashing, that means it was an unhandled exception. There's an access violation or something caused it to break out, which probably means that it may not be in the log, which means we got to go get a memory dump or a crash dump and figure that out. So that's what I would do. That's yes. Yeah,
Supporters.
No,
Okay.
I got it. All right. Man, you're like on me this stream. All right, Gian and Mogul. Thank you for becoming members. Very much appreciated. All right. Sorry, I'm gonna do one. I know we're over time by a minute, but there's one more question there from Tom. We're gonna grab it so we can actually finish the queue out. All right. So I have running totals in an animated bubble chart. Nice. I like animated bubble charts. When you play it, can the dates in the animation filter other visuals on the page, not using the third-party slicer?
So on my scatter plot, right? On the scatter plot, I put the dates on the play axis, and as the time is moving, will it filter the other visuals on the page? I don't think it does, but I need to write that down and test that out.
Yeah, where's your box you can write it on?
Yeah, no.
You got a whiteboard, man.
I do.
I do. Because I know, like, usually, like, if you select a bubble, then that filters everything down. But if you're not selecting anything, I don't think it does.
I don't think it does, but I
don't think it does.
Remember, I did something on one of a video where I was making the time move and stuff. And I wonder if that'll work. I gotta look at that. That's a good one, because that would be a good video.
I think the answer is no.
Yeah, I think the answer is no, but I'm still gonna try it.
And the secondary answer to that is ideas.powerbi.com.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That is it, everyone. So we are over time. So thank you so much for being with us this Saturday. Always appreciated. Thanks to all the new members. Thanks for the super chats. Love the discussion. And Patrick's office will evolve as we go forward. So be sure to check all that out as it goes forward. Yeah. So any closing words, Patrick? Words of wisdom?
No. Thank you guys for joining.
All right.
See you next week.
We'll see you next weekend, everyone.
This is not disaster. 20-something seconds go on and on. 20-something seconds go.